The moment I saw that leaked trailer footage, I knew everything was about to change. Not just for Demon Slayer fans, but for anime as we know it. And before you ask, yes, I'm talking about that footage. The one that had Studio Ufotable's legal team working overtime and sent shockwaves through the entire anime community. But here's what nobody's talking about. While everyone's focused on the legal drama surrounding the leak, they're missing the real story. The story that starts with a single frame that appeared for exactly 2.3 seconds in that forbidden footage. A frame that reveals something so mind-blowing about the Infinity Castle arc that it changes everything we thought we knew about Muzan's ultimate plan. Look, I've been covering anime for years, and I've never seen anything quite like this. The way this whole situation unfolded reads like something straight out of a thriller novel. Picture this, it's AM in Tokyo, and someone we still do and know who manages to record what appears to be raw footage from the upcoming Infinity Castle movie. Within hours, this footage is spreading across social media like wildfire. Now, before we dive deeper into what this means for the future of Demon Slayer, let me tell you something that happened to me personally that connects to all of this. 3 weeks ago, I was at a convention where I met someone who claimed to work for a major animation studio. They couldn't tell me their name, obviously, but what they shared about the production of Infinity Castle left me speechless. They said, and I quote, "What do you think you know about Muzan's final form is nothing compared to what he's actually coming." At the time, I thought they were just being dramatic. Anime industry people love their hyperbole, right? But after seeing that leaked footage, everything clicked into place. The leaked trailer wasn't just any ordinary preview. It contained sequences that weren't supposed to be seen until the movie's official release. And buried within those sequences was something that challenges everything we understand about the power scaling in Demon Slayer, something that makes Muzan's previous transformations look like child's play. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is what happened next. Within 6 hours of the leak surfacing, Studio Ufotable didn't just issue a copyright takedown. They released an official statement warning about potential legal consequences for anyone sharing the footage. Not just the usual "please do and pirate our content" message, we are talking about actual legal threats. Why would they react so aggressively to what most people assumed was just another trailer leak? Because what that footage revealed wasn't meant to be seen yet. It spoiled a plot twist so massive that it fundamentally changes the entire final arc of the series. Here's where things get interesting. Remember how everyone was speculating about why they decided to split the Infinity Castle arc into 3 movies, instead of continuing with the anime format? The official reason was to do justice to the epic scale of the final battle. But that leaked footage suggests there's something much bigger at play. The animation quality shown in those brief clips isn't just better than what we have seen before, he's operating on a completely different level. We're talking about animation that pushes the boundaries of what's technically possible in 2D animation. The kind of animation that requires movie budget resources and years of development time. And that brings us to the real question. What exactly are they planning to show us that requires this level of production value? The answer lies in that mysterious 2.3-second frame I mentioned earlier, the one that shows Muzan in a form that doesn't match any of his transformations from the manga. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe it's just artistic interpretation. Maybe they're just making the existing transformation look more impressive. But here is the thing, and this is where that convention contact comes back into the picture. They told me that the movie trilogy would include expanded content that goes beyond the source material. This isn't just about adapting the manga anymore. This is about creating something entirely new while staying true to the story's core. And that leaked footage gives us our first glimpse of what that something new might look like. The way the lighting works in that particular frame suggests a level of power that we have never seen before, not just from Muzan, but from the entire battle itself. The visual effects team at Ufotable has created something that looks less like traditional anime and more like a supernatural horror film with an unlimited budget. But here's what really gets me excited about all of this. The legal response from Studio Ufotable wasn't just about protecting their intellectual property. It was about protecting the experience they've spent years crafting for fans. They want that first viewing to be as impactful as possible, and they know that seeing these sequences out of context diminishes that impact. Think about it from their perspective. You've spent 3 years developing groundbreaking animation techniques. You've created sequences that will redefine what audiences expect from anime movies. And then someone leaks footage that shows your biggest surprises without any of the emotional context that makes them meaningful. The timing of this leak is particularly significant. We're just months away from the Japanese release, and international audiences are already planning their viewing experiences. The last thing Studio Ufotable wants is for their most spectacular moments to lose their impact because people have already seen them in low-quality leaked footage. This brings us to what I believe is the most important aspect of this entire situation. The Infinity Castle trilogy isn't just the conclusion of Demon Slayer. It is Studio Ufotable's attempt to create a new standard for anime movies. They're not just adapting a manga, they're creating a cinematic experience that could influence how anime is produced for years to come. The technical innovations shown in that leaked footage represent months of experimentation and development. The way they've integrated traditional 2D animation with cutting-edge digital effects creates a visual language that is uniquely suited to the supernatural elements of the story. And that's exactly why that 2.3-second frame is so significant. It is not just showing us a new transformation, it is showing us a new way of visualizing power and conflict in anime. The way the energy flows around Muzan in that frame suggests that they have found a way to make abstract concepts, like overwhelming demonic power, feel tangible and immediate. So here's what I think is really happening with the Infinity Castle trilogy. Studio Ufotable isn't just concluding Demon Slayer, they are using it as a showcase for what the future of anime movies could look like. They're demonstrating that with enough time, resources, and creative vision, anime can compete with any form of visual entertainment. The leaked footage was just a glimpse of something much larger, something that will change how we think about what anime can achieve. And that's exactly why Studio Ufotable reacted so strongly to the leak. They're not just protecting a movie, they're protecting the future of their medium. The real question now is whether audiences are ready for what they're about to experience. Because based on what I saw in that leaked footage, the Infinity Castle trilogy is going to be unlike anything we've seen before.